Hello, my name is Mike Richter from Unplugged Collective, and we are here on Cannesversations live at Possible in Miami Beach. It is a beautiful day here. I'm here with Laura Hendricks from Human, one of our favorite humans. If you know what I did there, yeah.
I see it.
Yeah, how are you doing today?
I'm doing great. It's beautiful.
It is absolutely beautiful. We're here at the gorgeous Pavilion Penthouse of Unplugged Collective, where we are hosting fantastic programming all week and also doing these awesome interviews. I'm here with Laura, as I mentioned, but before we get into it and into the mess, because neither of us even know what the questions we're asking, that's the fun part of this. Tell us a little bit about yourself and what you do.
So I'm at Human Security, and we are really in the agentic and cybersecurity space. So helping brands have granular visibility into the wild, wild west of agents at the moment and the digital internet, and helping you put yourself in the driver's seat to control what you're doing there. So I'm the SVP of Global Sales, only been there about 3 months, and formerly came from about 5 years at the trade desk.
Amazing. That's got to be super fun right now, dealing with all the different agentic things, right? Would you say that your agentic skills have sharpened significantly over the past 3 months?
So I would say that I'm very intrigued. I'm still a little bit of a novice when it comes to how I'm using agents in my life. I'm still looking for an agent to do laundry for me and schedule my children. But it is encouraging me to think a lot more about what's happening in the space and how quickly it's transforming, and just all of the risks that comes with that, and what that means for brands, and what that means for what we all can do as it's happening quickly. You really don't have to sit and wait. You can act now and get some visibility. And it's exciting though, because I think it's really exciting of what a brand or an agency, but mainly a brand, can do to decide how they want to talk to a human versus an agent and making sure you don't let the bad bots in.
What percentage of site traffic do you think isn't human?
So right now, Human put out our quadrillion report just about a month ago or a few weeks ago, and Human sees over 30 trillion data points a week. So we're kind of have the right to be in that conversation. But right now we see over 50%, for the first time ever in December, over 50% of the internet became synthetic, non-human.
Wow. Is it synthetic shady, or is it interesting synthetic?
It's a little bit of all, right?
Yeah.
So, I mean, when you start to break that down, you have agents that are, you have training models, right? So you have LLMs that are training agents, and so that's just scraping. But you have agents doing a lot more things. And it really went from kind of 0 to 60 last year in how quickly agents were doing things. You still have people who believe that an agent will never transact on behalf of a human. And we already saw that in the holiday season, almost 5% of agents were transacting for humans. And so it's happening. It's here. There's no longer it's coming. It's happening faster than we all can even keep up,
right? Which
is exciting and scary at the same time.
How do we make sure it's as trustworthy as a real human assistant?
Yeah, and I think that's where, brands are in that really hard space, right? It's been, bots are bad, everyone's bad, let's just trust the humans, that's all I need. But now you have this new thing happening, right? And you have agents that are, because it's not just agents that want to transact. You go and say, where should I go on vacation, right? And I want to go to a spot that has this, and this. And then if you're Marriott, you want them to find your hotels in that location, right? You want your hotels to pop to the top of the list, right? If you're Nike.com and you're the CMO and you're like, hey, all my dollars are working, and then your CEO says, why aren't you selling more sneakers? You want to know why that traffic isn't transacting. And so the biggest thing that we think about is visibility. First and foremost, you can't have a strategy without visibility, right? So once you have visibility into the type of traffic that's coming to your site, then you can decide what to do. And so I have a lot of empathy for brands right now who no one's done anything wrong. We're all just trying to catch up, right?
When you're talking to brands, is there is a high CTR still a win in their opinion that you've seen if you can't verify who or what generated that click?
Yeah, it's such a great question. I think it really depends on your KPIs and what outcomes you have for the dollars you spend. I do believe that data has become a usable source for people to actually maximize and be able to have a deeper relationship with customers. So if it's just a click, what are you really getting out of that? It's almost like, is it, because you won't even know, is that person buying something that you want them to buy? Could they have bought something else if you had served them a different ad, if you had targeted them in a different way? So if you don't understand the intent and you don't understand where they're coming from, how can you actually find that to be a valuable click?
Makes sense. Makes perfect sense. When speaking with your clients, and scale is really important because they're spending money all over the place. Brands are doing what they do. How do you, what advice do you have for them in spending without scaling their risk of fraud ultimately?
Yeah, I think what's happening right now in the industry is, the marketing side and the security side kind of sat on different sides, right? Had different outcomes. You were really focused on different things. And now with agents, those two pieces of the puzzle are coming together, right? If you're the marketing guy, you trust your security counterpart that they're not letting the bad stuff through and they're only letting the good stuff through. And the things you're spending money on to drive people there is good, right? If you're the security guy, you're trusting that you're spending money on the right people. So they sort of have this, what are we going to do about this the agent that used to look bad, that in many places could look good? And how do we want to come together to think about that? And again, it comes down to visibility.
Right.
We also, it comes down to understanding, are you brand safe? Are you verifying the right transactions? And are you using a partner that sees the most, has the largest view of what's happening, right? Because so much has changed and it can't just be a static model anymore. You have to be able to keep up with the pace of the internet and the agents and what those look like. And the fraud that's happening against those. Like most people are like, well, but you can't, misinterpret that it's ChatGPT, and you can. I mean, as we continue to evolve what's happening in the internet and AI evolves, so do the fraudsters. So does those bad actors. They get smarter, just like the internet gets smarter.
You have to become sharper.
You have to become sharper.
Well, speaking of being sharp, what's something brands think they understand about performance but don't?
I think sometimes brands are missing the entire piece of where that sale might come from, right? So brands think that maybe an impression is great. I did my job, I spent $1, I got an impression, or I did my job and they bought something. But I believe in this day and age, there's so much more that you can understand about that journey if you're using the right partners along the way to understand where did they come from, what was their intent, how did they go around your site, right? Like, what did they want to do? Did they go directly to one place, or are they going through different pages? There's so much you can understand about a person on your site and how, you want to improve your content, where you want to focus when you're offsite. And so I believe that sometimes brands are thinking a little more narrow-minded, and in the world of data and access, you can have a much larger aperture.
Where do you see the biggest gap between reported performance and reality?
I really believe in this agentic world, it's just what you see in a report is not actually what might be happening, right? You have to be much more granular. You have to understand the intent of where they came from. Like, you have to know, did they come from a certain IP? Did they not, right? Like, I don't think it's just this like binary bot or not binary. That's a human, that's good, right? I think you have to really understand what's happening in that impression to get the most out of it and to spend your dollars most effectively.
One last big question, and then we've got some really fun fires. Where do you see clients optimizing towards the wrong things?
That's where they optimize towards clicks, or they're optimizing towards impressions, right? Rather than what did that impression do? Was it a sale? Was it the right, overall KPI, right? Like, outcome-based marketing is a thing we should all be focused on. You can't be focused on great I drove traffic or great I drove clicks. It needs to be granular outcome-based marketing where you're understanding the details behind it, because, I spend a lot of time with brands telling them and empowering them to expect that. Expect that from your partners. Expect granularity. Expect visibility. If you don't have that, then why are you spending money with them?
Would you say that outcomes-based focus point in this case is more than just the details of delivery, meaning branding plays a big part in that too? The building of trust, the building of understanding, people wanting to make that click, right?
Absolutely.
Or make that purchase.
Absolutely. Yeah, I think This is where for the last 5 years or maybe a little bit longer, brand and shopper have had to come together, right? Because of data and because of those silos are collapsing, right? No one says, a common consumer that isn't in the ad tech world doesn't say, oh, thank you so much, Walmart for the brand ad, or thank you for the shopper ad. Now I'll go. It's just an overall relationship they have with the brand. So you need to connect those silos together. You need to be thinking about consumer first and understanding who your consumer is and where they're coming from and what they want to do and how they want to interact with you. And so if you have budgets on both sides, use those together and find your consumer. Don't think in a singular fashion.
Maybe the analogy there is married at first sight does not always lead to a long relationship, right?
Yeah. Here's the thing. You got to work at it.
Exactly.
Marriage, you got to work at it. It's the same thing in marketing. You got to work at it.
Got to work at it. That's a big lesson here. So quick rapid fires and then
Okay.
you can go enjoy the beach.
Okay.
Or just walk around in these gorgeous clothes.
Yeah. I wish I had time to enjoy the beach, but I'm enjoying it now.
I mean, she might be at the beach. But we won't tell if you are.
We won't tell anyone.
We won't tell
Don't tell anyone.
No. So overrated or underrated AI in marketing?
Underrated.
Fairly. Safe bet or risky bet? AI agents making purchases.
Safe bet, but you have to have the right tools to make sure it's a safe bet.
We love that plug. Perfect sense there. And then the one thing that matters more than people think.
Visibility.
Perfect. And if you had one last dollar to spend in marketing, where would you spend it?
One last dollar to spend?
Yeah.
Oh, wow. I would spend it on a platform that could give me insights to make sure that where I'm spending is driving the right things.
Well, you heard it here. We might be all out of questions, but we're never out of insights. So with that being said, thank you, Laura, for being here on Cannesversations here in Miami Beach at Possible 2026. It has been a fantastic kickoff to this wonderful week, and we'll see you soon.
See you soon. Thank you.
Thank you.